Hi, welcome to SimSmart's online session. In this session, we are going to learn how to draw eyes. I won't be teaching any shading, but without shading also you can draw beautiful eyes. And there are a lot of differences between a male eye and a female eye. So let's see how to draw a female eye first. So let's start by drawing a nice diagonal line first. A small diagonal line, a sharp one, and then roughly imagine till where your eyes should end. From there, from the end of the diagonal line, take a nice curve and end it little bit beyond it. Then lower part, first this side make a small diagonal line. This should be half the size of the previous diagonal line that we have done. Remember that. And then here you just add a little bit curve and then join it to the diagonal line that we have done. A very small curvature, if you can see. A very small curvature. Then once this is done, we have to draw another line above. This is the lid area. So always remember, don't keep the eye literally opened. So there will be some eyelid that will be visible. That's very important to show the naturality of the eye. So shade this little bit. Then from there, let's draw few eyelashes. See, when I'm drawing the eyelashes, I'm not keeping them straight. They're curved upwards little bit, but I'm not dominating them. Only the right side ones will be visible. The front ones won't be visible because of the angulation, and also the eyelid covers it little bit. So only the right side ones you're going to do, and for the left eye you're going to do it for the left side ones, and then curve it little bit. Don't keep them straight. Then comes the iris of the eye, that is the big black one, black ball of the eye. So this iris of the eye, make sure you do it a complete circle overlapping onto the eyelid. That is, it should actually go under the eyelid little bit. We can add few more eyelashes there. The same curvature, they're not straight. We can add little bit curvature to it. This is very important point. That eyelid should and must cover the iris of the eye. Inside this, you should draw another small circle, a complete dark one. This is the pupil of the eye. So this is black for all of them. The iris changes colors. It will be brown, black, blue, green. From person to person it varies. So for that we are just going to draw few lines all around, and with your finger just smudge it. Once you are done with that, upper part of it you add more lines, and as you are going to side and lower part of it, reduce the lines. This gives out a very nice shade to your eyes. For any color, whichever color you are imagining, maybe a light color iris of the eye or a dark colored one, it's totally up to you, but this is the technique that you have to follow. For darker eyes, you can draw more lines actually. For lighter eyes, only few lines will be enough, and those need not be dominated. Then, once this is done, make sure you darken the pupil again because we have smudged it. Make sure you darken it completely, because that will be really dark and black. Once done, now come to the corners of the eye. So we have to complete the eyeball. The white part of the eye is nothing but the eyeball. So for that we have to draw these two lines showing the eyeball region, that is the white region. So we have to give little shade to the white region as well. So in the corners I'm drawing very faint lines to left side and the topmost area. Once that is done, take your finger again and smudge it so the lines won't be visible. Do the same thing on the other side, the right side and the topmost area. Don't touch the middle area because we need the middle area really white. Only the corners you are supposed to do. Just smudge it little bit, not too much smudging also. Just very slight smudging. Even the lines that you're drawing should be as light as possible. Don't keep it dark. That's it. So now you can see the eyeball area very clearly. You can differentiate the eyeball area from the rest of the eye. And once you're done with that, around the iris of the eye, just darken it a little bit more. Very little. So this kind of pops it out. Draw another small line near the lower eyelid. That's just showing the lower eyelid region. Just keep it very light. Don't dominate that. Keep it as light as possible. And then complete the upper lid region. Make sure you follow the contour of the eye. And then widen it. So this is very important because this is where a male and a female eye will be differentiated. So look into it properly. Understand this point very well. And then for your eyebrow, the female eyebrow will be sharper. So first draw the first line, the upper part of the eyebrow. Let it go a little higher, and exactly at the end of eyeball, you're gonna turn it down. And this should come till the corner of the eye. If you draw a line like this, it should come till there. Roughly. It will not be perfect. It won't be the same for everyone. So a rough one is sufficient. It need not be a perfect measurement or something. So just complete the eyebrow. As I mentioned, the female features are more sharper and rounder. Wherever you see, you can see a very nice rounded features and a sharper features. So that point you have to keep in mind and you have to continue. If you notice the eyebrow lines, the first lines that is towards the center of the face, they are straight lines. And as you're moving away, they fall down. It's like directed towards the right. Practice well till you get it. Understand the points. And then we'll move on to the next one. That is male eye. As we are doing the male eye, just notice the differences between female and male eye. The first line is the same thing, the diagonal line. But the second one, we have to mark a point and then go flat. It is not a curved line here. It is a flatter line for male eye. Then the third line is again diagonal line similar to the female eye, but make sure it's only half of the size of the first line. And then we are going to join this to the diagonal line. The curve is almost like we are just joining the points. That's it. That's the curve. Don't do more than that. Even the upper part, instead of a sharp end, just curve it. So the curvature is very less here compared to the female. Hope you understood this point. This is the major difference between male and female eye. And then the second point will be the same. That is, part of the eye should be covered by the eyelid. So, in the female, we have shown a thicker one, but here it will be little thinner. The eyelashes are barely visible. Then we'll move on to the iris of the eye. The same thing, it should be perfectly circular and it should be little bit covered by the lid. You can see the upper part of it, it's not circular, it is little bit flat, that is covered by the lid there. It's getting overlapped by the lid. And of course the pupil of the eye, completely dark. Then coming to the next one, that is the upper eyelid. Here another major difference you can see between a male and a female eye. You can see that we are not giving a curvature that is following our upper line of the eye. We are kind of making it flatter. So this is very important. Even though you give a curvature, make sure it is as less as possible. The distance between the lid and the eye outline should be as less as possible. Now the rest of it is the same. That is for the iris and also for the eyeball. The shading that we have learned for the female is similar to this. Coming to the eyebrow. One more difference between female and male. The distance between the eyebrow and the eye is less in male compared to female, and the width is also less in male compared to female. As I mentioned, need not be same for all the people, but this is the major difference that you can find. So one thing is keep it flatter, blunt features. In male you have to imagine rough features, blunt features, as we use the term rough look. So you have to keep all those points in mind and you have to do it. If you see the eyebrows, the front ones, the ones towards the center are straight. And as you're going away from the center, they're tilted to the right side. And then finally they fall down. This angulation of the eyebrows is also important whenever you're drawing the features. And then they tilt downwards completely. And you can see that as in female, the eyebrows doesn't extend the similar way. They're flatter. You should remember that point. So now see the difference between a male eye and a female eye. See how much difference it is. And you can understand which one is a male eye and which one is a female eye just by looking at it. The distance is more. This curvature is different, the upper eyelid curvature. The angulation of the eyebrow is different. Sharp look and a rough look. And the eyebrows are longer in female compared to male. Then the eyelashes, if you see, eyelashes are more visible in female than compared to the male. You can draw eyelashes for male also, but keep them very less. And finally, the shape of the eye is different. Coming to the next one, that is the baby's eye. Let's see how a baby eye differs from a fully grown eye of male and female. So let's start with the same slant line, the diagonal line, and now from here it gives a very nice curvature. Always remember that the baby's eyes are more rounded compared to any grown-up eyes. So once the curvature is done, down also, the lower end also, near the lower lid, give a slight curvature and join it. It shouldn't be as curved as the upper one, but it shouldn't be flatter also. So there is one interesting point that I would like to tell here, followed by a very light upper eyelid. Don't keep it too dark, whatever you're drawing, particularly for the baby's eyes. Keep it as light as possible. Don't keep it as dark as the female eye, particularly. Keep it light, even the eyebrows, the eyes, the eyelids. They shouldn't be too dark or dominating. Keep it as light as possible. Even the eyelashes, as mentioned previously, keep them really light. But make sure whatever you draw, that curvature should be there. It should be curved towards the right side. And the front ones are barely visible. You should keep even that point in mind and do it. Do you know which part of our body doesn't grow since our birth? Any guesses? It is the iris of the eye. From the time of birth, the iris of the eye remains the same. The size remains the same. So while you're drawing iris of the eye of the baby, you should keep this point in mind. I guess you can notice that the iris of the eye is dominated in whole of the eye. The eyeball looks smaller, but the iris of the eye is totally getting dominated. And of course, don't forget the pupil of the eye, followed by the rest of the shading similar to the previous ones, that is the male one and the female one. For the upper eyelid, just follow the curvature of the eye, but make sure it's a little bit closer, not too far away. And as I told you previously, keep it light. Don't dominate even this. And then followed by the eyebrow. Leave little space and complete the eyebrow. As mentioned previously, again I'm repeating, keep it light. Even the eyebrow should be lighter in color. It's just not because you're learning, but even when you're drawing portraits or something, for the babies, all the features should be really light. The hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, they shouldn't be dominating. Give a nice curvature shape. Don't give any sharper features or blunt features. It should be a medium features for the babies. A kind of innocence should be seen. I have done this a bit bigger. Now I'll draw another smaller baby eye between the male eye and the female eye so that you can see the differences. I'm just making sure the iris of the eye of all three are of the same size. So I'm going to start with the iris of the eye, followed by the rest of the parts of the eye in a similar manner as we have learnt. So I'm going to repeat the whole thing. Just check it out, or you can forward this part and then you can see the differences between all three. Now check it out, the iris of the eye of all three are the same size. They are all of the same size. But you can see the rest of the dimensions being changed. The major difference that you can see is the white part of the eye, that is the eyeball. It is more in female and in male, but you can see it's hardly visible in the baby. So this is a very important point whenever you are drawing the baby eyes. Understand the differences well and complete the drawing. I'll see you in the next session. Bye.